Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be showing you how to make your own PNGTuber from start to finish. I'm going to be using Ibis Paint to draw the character, but you can use any drawing app. And then we're going to be using PNGTuber Plus to set it up so that it reacts to your voice. And I've broken this video down into chapters. So, first we'll go for drawing and setting up all the layers, then uploading and rigging everything in PNGTuber Plus, and finally how to use it while you're streaming. Okay, first we're going to talk about the drawing and with layers and everything. So you can go ahead and do your sketch on just one layer, but then once we get to the coloring and liner, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So basically every part that you want to move, you're going to have to do that on a new layer. So this is the PNGTuber that I'm using now in this video. You definitely do not need to make a full body one, just like the face or the shoulders up would be fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you for this one. So all of my layers I have organized in folders. So for the back leg, for example, I did the liner on a separate layer and the coloring on a separate layer, and then I organized that into its own folder. Here's a basic breakdown of all the layers. Everything is separated so it can be moved on its own. And real quick, let's go over some must-have layers. First of all, you must have an opened eye layer and you must have a closed eye layer. And then you also need to have a closed mouth and an opened mouth layer. As you can see, my PNGTuber has some variations in the mouth, which definitely is not necessary. You can make a perfectly fine PNGTuber with just one open mouth. But just in case you want to be a little bit fancy, I will be going over how to make these mouth variations. And now that we've gotten all of that done, we can move on to the uploading and rigging. So to download PNGTuber Plus, you actually have to go through this website called itch.io, which will be linked down in the description. And you can just go ahead and press that download now button, and then just press the take me straight to the download. And then it is a zip file, so we are going to have to extract it. Once you've got the program open, it should look something like this. And now we need to bring in all of our layers. If you've downloaded them onto your computer, you can go ahead and press the escape button on your keyboard to bring up your files. So then you're going to want to go to your downloads folder or whichever folder that you have your layers in, and you're just going to select those and press cut, and then press the back button and paste them in this folder. And I forgot to do this for mine, but this would be the part when you want to name all of your layers, because that's very important. And now that we've done that, once you go up here and press the add new sprite, which is what they call layers in this program, all of your layers, which hopefully you would have named, are all in here, and you unfortunately have to open them one at a time. But you can just go through and open all of these. If you have some layers that are out of order, you can just go ahead and press E on your keyboard to bring them forward, or Q to bring them backwards. So you can see some of my layers are a bit out of order, so I'm just going to fix those real quick. And now you may notice the eyes. We're going to fix those real quick. So the closed eyes, we're going to set those to eyes closed, and then the opened eyes, we're going to set those to eyes open. If you need to view your layers, you can press this little eye up here in the corner and be able to see all of your layers there. And to find your keyboard shortcuts, you can just press the little eye down in the bottom corner, and that will show you all of your hotkeys and everything. Alright, and the mouth is basically going to be the same as eyes, so for the open mouth, we will select the open mouth, and then the closed mouth, we will select closed mouth. And there we go, the mouth opens when you talk and closes when you're not talking. And now this can be a perfectly fine PNGTuber as it is with the mouth, but we can take it a step further, and we can do that by using Sprite Sheets. So I just searched Sprite Sheet Maker, and I will also put this website down in the description so you can easily use it, and you can go ahead and press Clear Sprites, and then you want to upload your sprites. I would use 3 to 4 mouth variations. I have 3 variations to my mouth, which I'm going to go ahead and upload now. If you need ideas for mouth shapes, I would recommend looking up a lip sync chart, and then these are just the mouth shapes that I use, which you're free to reference if you like. Once you've got those uploaded, you don't need to mess with any of these settings. It should all be just like this, and you can press download as PNG. And then we gotta go through the same process of pressing escape, and then going into your downloads, and then cutting and pasting it back into that folder. For this, we are going to put the sprite frames to how many mouth shapes we have. So I have 3. So I'm going to set this to 3. I'm gonna set it to open mouth and then turn the animation speed up as much as you would like. I think mine's usually on 30 or something around 30, but you can play around with it and see what you like. Okay, there we go. We've got the mouth animation going on, we got the closed mouth, we got the blink, and we just gotta get on with the rigging for the rest of the characters. I'm not gonna go too far in depth with this rigging because it's really fun to play around with and just see what you like. So I'm just gonna show you the controls for how to rig it, and then you can customize that to how you want for your PNGTuber. I'm going to start with showing you guys how to set the origin point. So I'm just going to show you with this arm here. So I'm going to select the arm and then bring up this little thing in the corner so you guys can see the controls. So you hold down O and then press either W, A, S, or D to move the point around. And I'm just going to turn up the rotational drag so you guys can see what that did. So now you can see that the arm swings out and will move from that point. And if we scroll down here, you'll see the rotational limit, and this basically just does exactly as it says. It limits how much your arm can rotate. Next up, if you go up here to frequency, and this basically just adds a passive movement. So this will move even when you're not talking. So I'm just going to turn this up to show you right here. So this is a little bit dramatic, but this would be good if you added like a tail or some ears or something like that. But I use this to add just like a little bit of a swing in the arm. Next up, I'm going to show you guys how to link sprites. So I'm going to show you with the pen, so we're going to go ahead and select that and press link sprite up here in the top corner, and I'm going to link that onto the arm. So basically that means the pen will just move with the arm, so as the arm swings, the pen will move with it. And I'm going to go ahead and link a few more things. So basically I'm just going to link things that would be stacking onto each other. So you know, the pin is on the arm's going to go on the torso, the legs are going to go onto the thigh, the bangs are going to go onto the hair, the facial features are going to go onto the face, and etc. And while I was at it, I also went through and set the origin point for everything. So the legs, the origin point was set to the knees, and the hair, the origin point was set to about like the part of the hair, and so on. It's pretty simple to figure out where the origin point would be. You just play around with it and kind of see what looks best. Okay, I'm going to speed this up while I kind of explain what I'm doing. So for the hair, I did end up adding like a passive movement, and I also added a bit of a squish and also a rotation. The torso also got like a little bit of a squash, and then the little drawstrings got a squash and a rotation. The legs obviously have a rotation. And then I went through and I finished linking everything. And I did a little bit more animation. It's all customizable, so I don't feel like I really need to explain exactly what I did for my PNGTuber, because that could be completely different for what you do for yours. So this is definitely something that you can really experiment with. But I hope I gave you enough information to get you started. And please, please make sure you save your PNGTuber. The last thing you want to do is finish rigging your PNGTuber, close the program, next day you open it up to use it, and it's completely gone. So your PNGTuber, to save it, press Save Avatar up here. So you can go ahead and name it whatever you want. So I'm just going to call this Emmy PNGTuber. And just press Save. And just one last thing, if you go ahead and exit edit mode, just to make sure that your PNGTuber is picking up, make sure you have your right mic selected. So I use this mic right here. And then also go into settings, and you can play around with the blink chance, so you can do the blink speed and all of that. You can turn the gravity like way up, and then she like barely moves at all, or you can turn it way down and she's like super floaty, or you can turn the bounce force way up or way down, so you can really play with this as much as you want. Okay, for the last and final section of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use your PNGTuber while you're streaming. And just make sure you have like the green screen background, which you can do right here, just select green. And then what I like to use for streaming is OBS. Go down here to sources, press the plus, go to window capture, and I'm just going to name this PNGTuber. And then you want to select PNGTuber Plus, and you just want to do like all these settings. Shrink that down a bit, and then we need to get rid of the green background. So go right here to filters, add chroma key, and then it should already be set to green, so you shouldn't have to mess with this too much, but mine does have a little bit of a teal which it picks up, so I do have to turn this down a bit. And there you go, your PNGTuber is all set up and ready for streaming. And of course, here is my finished PNGTuber, and this is the one that I have been using all throughout the video. It's also one that you see in my live streams, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, thanks for watching. You made it to the end of the video. Good job. This is kind of my first tutorial, so I hope I covered everything well enough. If you have any questions, you can definitely drop those in the comments and I will try my best to answer. Thank you guys for the fan art, and I will see you in the next video. Also, don't forget to join Discord. Okay, bye.